Hey everybody, welcome. I guess, are you entertained yet? I mean, holy guacamole, what a down day. And it's kind of crazy, you know? Look at this right here. Look, I mean, only took 3 days to get here from the bounce off the 618. That's pretty crazy. Did not expect that. I don't know what I expected. That was not it. I have to tell you. That was not it. Anyway, wow. But here's the crazy thing. This isn't the crash yet. All right. This could get a lot worse in a lot bigger way. I I I don't know how to warn you here that this can get a lot worse. Like, look where we came from. All right, this is not the crash. It feels like a crash. Everybody's going to call it a crash. This is not a crash. This is going to be the crash. All right? Very serious with you right now. I'm not even joking a little bit. That's the crash. We're not there yet. I mean, so I told you to be careful. Brian, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Um, I did tell everybody to be careful. This is what I was talking about. We could go to the daily roadmap line. We went to the daily roadmap line. Now, what comes next is the question. All right. I strongly feel like we're close to a bounce here. In fact, look at that ES taking it back up. Quite a few points there already. Made the low all the way down here, 51.23 pre-market. The not making a bottom on a Friday came to pass. The list is ridiculous today. I only pulled stuff that was down $10 or more. Imagine, I didn't even bother with $2. I stopped at $10 or more, and there are things popping. There are regular stocks popping. So that's just absolutely wild to me. This week, relatively benign. Yeah, VIX is relaxing already. I'll go through everything. I got, whole thing planned. But before we get into trades and money and, that sort of thing, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. I got liquidated on some positions this morning. I ate it. The risk department at my broker closed my positions. Pre-market. Awesome, right? Booked the losses for me. Kind of upset about it, but I'll get over it. Now, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. If you're not ready for those things to hit losses, you're not playing it the right way. All right. You got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right preparation. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because I predicted that we go to the daily roadmap line doesn't mean I'll ever get another one right again. But it'd be a huge bummer, right? This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, it's not what I do. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor you trust. I mean, let's be honest. Don't buy stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. If you desire personal financial advice, somebody that tells you what to do, you got to go hire somebody to do that. That's not what I do. All right. This week, welcome to August, right? Welcome to August. I didn't really prepare much today because it was just like, holy. I mean, first thing when I watched futures reopen at 6 p.m. last night, I was like, well, that's getting close to the roadmap line. And then when I woke up this morning at like 6:30, I pulled it up. I was like, first thing came to my mind was a F word. Fudge, right? Holy fudge. That thing went right to the roadmap line. Right to the roadmap line. Look at that. I mean, I drew it on the chart last week. I did not expect it to happen in 3 days. But hey, welcome to. I don't know. Does anybody feel like I didn't adequately prepare you? It did touch the target right at the beginning of the target. I kind of expected it to last a little longer and get a little bounce in here before we got down there, but yeah, the hatch blew out, and so maybe mainstream media is going to talk about this. The carry trade that is very common is blowing out, and that seems to be causing this havoc right here. And that's this guy right here. And I feel like I'd be remiss without talking about it a little bit. Look at that. Somebody drew that on there. I don't know. USD JPY. So it's been very, very cheap to go borrow yen. And carry trade means you borrow cheap currency, or you borrow money, currency, at a cheap rate. Who offers the cheapest rate? Japan. In fact, they've offered negative rates. They were David Scaglione in the chat this morning was talking about zero rates. They've actually offered negative rates. They actually pay you to borrow money. They've done that for a long time. So that's powerful, right? And what it does, though, it deflates Japanese currency. Inflates. Excuse me, inflates Japanese currency, makes it worth. So you borrow money, and that currency inflates, and it gets worth less. And you take that currency and you go put it somewhere else in the market that pays high interest relative, or not just pays high interest, but returns huge chunks of money. What's been returning huge chunks of money? AI, crypto. Right? This is not just this year. This actually goes back a long time. All right, and it's not just then either. Like we people with lots of money, hedge funds, family fund managers, they borrowed this money from Japan and then leveraged up, doubled down, got even more. That's all hunky-dory until Japanese yen starts appreciating. They decided to raise their rates and get this, kind of deflate their currency a little bit, get their inflation under control. Mostly had to do with the price of oil in Japan. It started skyrocketing, and they had to do something to try to rein that in. And this is the result. Now, if you've borrowed a bunch of yen and converted those to some other currency and put them into investments, AI, whatever, big tech, Bitcoin, you name it, gold, to get a higher return, and then all of a sudden, the thing that you borrowed starts skyrocketing, you got to unwind your position and go liquidate what you borrowed. All right, or at least try to book out your profits, salvage what's left. This has been dropping like crazy, and you'll probably hear lots of people talk about the carry trade blowing up. Well, this is what happened. It's blowing out. Now, Nikkei, however you say it, the Japanese stock exchange, having its worst 2-day period ever in the history of that stock exchange. And I guess they're about to close it up now, if they haven't already. Japan's already done for the day. And welcome to the U.S. markets. Yeah. So they had their worst, the news before I was going to bed was they're having their worst 2-day period ever in the history of Japan. And there's the currency route right there, right back down. 618, maybe support, 139. But we can take it all the way back down to the historical consolidation down here at 100. So I got about $40 more out of that trade. And the 618 down here, 122. That's still a long ways to go from 140. Another $20 down. So, yeah. If your carry trade flips on you, it takes the wallet with it, as Goose says in the chat. So, anybody got questions on that? I'll do my best to explain it. This is, I have to admit, this is not an area of economics that I studied extensively. I know enough about it to be dangerous, and this is not the kind of thing that I get into at all. I don't have enough money to get into this sort of trade. So, um, if you got questions, I'll do my best to get real answers from real people that know more about this. I do have some professors of economics and stuff like that that love this kind of stuff that I'm friends with. So, smart people, right? Yeah. So, hopefully, everybody heeded my warnings. I mean, looky here. We're gonna hit the roadmap line. We break through it though. Remember, this is just getting started. That's the crash. All right. That's we're not to the crash yet. Even though it's gonna feel like a crash, everybody's gonna call it a crash. This is not the crash. Please be careful. Please be. Yeah, there. Yeah, Goose is throwing out numbers for you. You know, yen went up 2.95% against the dollar overnight. That's 10 times bigger movement. Yeah. So, dun 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 dun. Wow. I'm really impressed with the move so far. I mean, I'm really. That is not what I expected to happen, but I mean, I said it could happen, and it did happen, and that's kind of wild, but it's not quite what I actually expected to happen. No. Last time we did this, hit the roadmap line, was back here, October. Pushed a little lower. Can we do it again? Absolutely. Can we push a little lower? Now, looking on NQ, look, we went right down to the target too. I mean, even pushed that 1272. Pretty amazing. I'm just impressed with the efficiency of this liquidation. I have to say, I am quite impressed. Hey, Sledge, good to see you. Good to see everybody. And I didn't even welcome anybody. So if you're new here, if you haven't been on the stream before, let me flip back. Click the Monster can right here. Morning Monster. I drink Monster Energy every day morning to get a little hyped up and get going for my day. I don't like hot liquids, so I don't drink coffee or tea or any of that stuff, but I do drink one of these a day. So Morning Monster. Yeah, if it's your morning cup of Joe or whatever, welcome to the stream. Click the button over here, be a subscriber on the channel. You can chat with me while I'm live. If I'm no longer live when you're tuning in and looking at this, well, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to it as soon as I possibly can. Sometimes it takes me a few hours to get the notification. I tend to silence my phone during the day and just work on the charts in Discord on my computer. And then, so I don't always see the notifications come through for YouTube and stuff till later on. But, you know, hey, it's the way I run things. So I'm a horrible texter. Like, people are like, I texted you. I'm like, oh, yeah, I have my phone on silent all day. So anyway, kind of called it and we got there. Now, what next, right? What next? S5FI and all this stuff has been warning us for so long. Since back here in December, I've been warning that S5FI was going to probably go visit the bottom. And today may be the day we visit the bottom in one nice fast swoop. We may not bounce today. We may not bounce tomorrow. We may not bounce this week. All right. This could develop into a crash. All right. This could be the top we have for a couple decades. This is the realities of the situation at this point. Now, a good friend of mine who, well, I say a good friend of mine, a fellow analyst friend of mine, not necessarily a good friend, but he tends to flip-flop on his view right when the market does his primary expectation. For several years now, he's been calling for a rally up to about 6,000. This morning, he was flip-flopping and turning bearish, thinking that we're not going to hit 6,000. That's usually exactly the point where the market turns. So be careful when, I mean, he's just like my, you know, as Kramer Kramer's kind of like my inverse. You know, I always joke that he said the market wasn't going to crash last week on Friday, and look at what, crash relative. But we're getting a big dump today, and look at all this stuff. Hitting sells, sell, sell, hitting alerts. Oh, look at that snow hitting. Oh my gosh. Look. We did it. I don't even believe that. Ha. Sometimes I get lucky. So snow. That's what I've been looking for snow right there. Golly, look at all these alerts. Alerts on Marvell. Man, I'm gonna have to go shopping later. So much stuff firing off. Shopify. Oh, so close. So close. A little bit more on Shopify. Oh. Look at that one. Another one. The market can turn and burn here. This is so much stuff hitting the alerts. Close options. Boom. Hey, what's going up today? Look, KDP hit the target. If you got into that last week, there you go. Hit the target. Kapow. I love this setup. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. Everything else is getting routed today. KDP hit the target. If you got into that one last week, let me know in the chat. Awesome. Awesome. Right there. Hey, at least some stuff's going up, right? Or was going up. And wow, I'm just impressed with this right now. I'm really impressed with this move. This is what I've been waiting for. Look at that. Hit my ideal target. Golly, man. Look at that. Coin can bounce. So much stuff. So much stuff. Awesome, Dawn. Awesome. Glad you got a piece of KDP. Remember, I'm not telling you to buy anything at all. You know, all trading involves substantial risk of loss. Right there. But I tend to find stuff that works. I tend to get lucky. Look at that. I didn't trade the downside. I was waiting for that to buy for the long side. That's it. Golly, it just took forever. Look at that. Like it took from back here in March. Actually, I was looking for this back here. Probably back here. Roblox alert. December. Yeah, I was looking for that retrace to the roadmap line in December. And we missed it. It's like, and I wasn't going long. Now we've actually done a proper retrace. Tagged it. Beautiful. So, there's a lot of things we need to talk about. As I said, this is not the crash yet. Now, warning sign. We close below that. This can develop a much deeper move here. Look at that. Took 5 days to go up and 3 days to get right back down. That's so crazy. On the Russell. That's the small caps right there. It only took 3 days to get down here. That's not the sign of a healthy market right there. I'm scattered on this, man. I have to. I don't mean man, and I know there's lots of ladies that watch. In fact, almost 20% of you are ladies. So, I'm humbled today. This is one of those days where I kind of predicted something, and the market humbles me by doing exactly what I thought was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen this fast, and I'm just shocked. Like this is one of those, like, it scares me when I get stuff like this right. I don't even know what to say. We're likely to bounce in this area, and the nature of that bounce is going to tell us what happens next. That's what I got to say right now. The nature of what happens next will tell me where we're going. Are we going to crash? And are we going to go make a new high. All right. NQ, pushing down to that extension. The crash here. This one's going to be brutal. If we crash, this is going to be brutal. That's not even it. Got to go to a monthly chart. It might be it. No, that's not going to be it. We're going to take back this whole move. So the first stop will be right here. And then the next stop will be down here. Yeah, that'll be wicked. So Russell, the bottom, potentially 130. 1300, excuse me, 1300. Right there. Yes, that's first stop. Next stop could be right down here on the monthly. Yeah, if we get that, we're probably going to get that. 3100. And the bigger retrace. This is going to be gnarly. Yep. Right there. This will be the crash. This stuff's coming. I don't know if it's coming, like if this is the start of the move or if we're going to go a little bit higher and then start this move. This is where we're going to go. More than likely. More than likely. This is where we're going to go. We're not crashing yet. So be careful out there. Oil. What a beautiful move on oil. I got to flip back to the daily chart. Oil. Look at that. Lower low. Holding pretty well. If we get down in here, we're probably going to come down to the 66 area right there. So, like I said, oil has been the problem for Japan, and right there. GC. Yeah, a little retrace on GC. Tag the 1272. Pull back to the breakout. Yeah, this was the breakout zone right here. Those highs. Broke above. Rejected once. Rejected twice. Next target up 2570-ish. 2550. Kind of what I was expecting. Bitcoin. Look at that. Look at that move. Let's pull up the, not Forex. I need the Coinbase chart right there. So I keep talking about 3,800. I was talking about that in Discord. Right there is the 3,800 price target. That may very well get hit. It's going to fleece pretty much everything crypto related if we do that. If your ticker does anything crypto related, MSTR, Mara, HUT, Riot, BTBT, you name it, that's going to hurt. That was always possible after we do the... And it could come down here possibly to 27. I don't expect it to go back below 25. 38 was where I said before the halving. We can come back there to 28 easily enough. But there you go. I don't even know what to say at that point. That's Ethereum. Well, I kept saying I was concerned about Ethereum not getting very bullish. right down 2100. The bigger retrace could be on down to 1800 down here. Could see that hit. Entirely possible. Dollar. Yeah, Mara's going to keep falling if crypto keeps falling. Everything's going to keep falling. BTPT, Riot, HUT, they'll all keep falling. There's no way for them to hold up if crypto's falling. They're all holding massive amounts of crypto, or many of them are. And dollar, look at that. So for those of you that say when the dollar drops, the market pops, what's going on today? Correlated when they're correlated, not when they're not. Dollar's dropping, market's dropping. I thought the market dropped when the dollar popped. Somebody want to get in the chat and let me know what's going on there. Anyway, gross deleveraging all over the place, and 97 is where I expect this one to go. Mid 90s. Been talking about it for almost 2 years. Feels like a year and a half at least. VIX, check this out. Look at that spike to 65, already back to 45. This one will flush right back down. It never stays up for very long. This is the biggest pop we've had in a while. Probably since COVID. Yep. Nice. Not likely to keep climbing. Not very likely. Futures indicating that we're going to give it back. I mean, this is the... Which contract is this? August contract. So this is this month's contract, already expecting to drop from 45 to 32 and continue to reduce volatility into the end of the year. It's the forward chart. And gainers, VXX, of course. If you rode that up, I would get the fudge out. Probably not likely to continue. UVXY, if you rode that up, get the fudge out. Wow. Look at that. Ultra short Ethereum. That's likely to come right back down. Oh, yeah. It's at the targets. Watch out for the retrace. SBIT. Short Bitcoin. Not even breaking out higher. That's kind of funny. Probably on a dividend basis. Not even on a dividend basis. That's so crazy. Kellogg's popping. Look at that. Kellanova. Look at that. Hit the target, then kept on cruising. So you can say things aren't popping today, but look at that one. It was a massive pop right there. Beautiful. So 76.81 on the upside there. Potential for Kellogg's. Places to find resistance. UVIX. That's another 2x Ultra VIX at the roadmap line. Probably book profit if you're in that. And NVDS. Man, that's not even a... Yeah. I'm still glad I'm out of that. Barely any higher high. SOXX. XOXS. Watch for that to top out. FRPT. We can talk about that here in a minute. I'll give you my bias toward the end, Kevin. As always, I wrap it up with a bias of what I expect for the rest of the day. I'll dive into the smaller time price action and show you where I expect the levels to be. Fresh Pet, right back to the roadmap line, holding up really well. That high, that low, opportunity. We break back above this 126, 140, right there. SARC, wow, I would be looking for getting out of that if I had some of that. FNGD, watch for. Mm, yeah, I wouldn't expect that to keep going up either. VIXY, there's another leverage VIX product, and that's probably playing out. TENK, there's a SPAC, and I would not play that. TLSQ, nice pop there, probably getting to be the end of the move. Do that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. If that doesn't close up here today, if this flushes back down, watch out for that to go lower low. And cold natural gas. Let's see what natural gas is up to. Holding up really well. Look at that. Holding really steady right there. If that gets bullish here, breaks out, we're probably gonna go up to 4 on natural gas. Hibbs, high beta, 3x bull, or 3x bear, excuse me. It looks like that's a declining asset. Bears, burrs. And right up to the roadmap line. So all these shorts, it's time to consider booking or protecting profit because that's pretty much the end of the play there. JDST, Junior Gold Miners. Looks like a 3-wave correction. SPXU. Ultra short. Leverage short. Right up to the roadmap line. Watch for that to reject. Last time it was here. It rejected pretty hard. XEL. Excel Energy. Well, last time we did a 3-wave pop. Like, this is 3 waves off that low. 1, 2, 3. Could go up to 63, but then if we don't get on up to 71, this is likely to go down and make a lower low again. TSLZ, inverse Tesla. Yeah, watch for that to flush out. GDXD. Watch for that one to flush out. SRTY, right up to the roadmap line. Now I feel like a chump for selling that out on Friday. Dang. VIXM. There's another VIX that's probably going to retrace hard on you. Declining assets, look at that. It's probably going to drop again. Be careful on that one. MNST. Monster was up pre-market. Now it's giving those gains back up. Hey, Monster. That still looks like we could go lower to me. Down here around 45 to 40, somewhere around 45, 46 area. ACGL. Almost back to the roadmap line, even though it was on a poppers list. Now it's on the droppers list. MDLZ, Moldez. Probably popping in sympathy with Kellogg's popping. That high, that low. Watch for the resistance here. This one may actually go lower. TMF. A 20-year Treasury, 3x bull. I'm not sure that's going to break out. Like, it has the potential to break out. Tip in its hand, we might break out 72, 76, or something wilder up here, 92, possibly 110. PSQ. Ultra short or pro short QQQ. TZA. Small cap bear 3x. It's another short on IWM type stuff. TSDD. 2x short on Tesla. Didn't even make it to the roadmap line. Disappointing. SSG. Ultra short semiconductors. Didn't even make it to the roadmap line. SDS. That's not the right SDS. There it is. Ultra short S&P. Right to the roadmap line. And Japanese yen. Look at that baby go. Look at her go. Right to the resistance point. So it's gonna have to, that's gonna retrace. Gonna have to it's gonna retrace before we can get higher. This is like upside down. When I was showing this one a minute ago, it's like upside down version of this. Right there. So this goes down when the other goes up. This goes up when the other goes down. Yeah, if I were in this one, I'd probably take some profit. That's I have a feeling we're gonna get a little bounce, but this could actually continue to go higher. Could be a bottom. Definitely pushed extremes. So I'm hunting for opportunities in the morning show. That's what I do every day. And MSTR, well, we did not make a lower low. I said we'd probably come back to the roadmap line. Here we are. Opportunity to bounce. Still the same upside targets. MELI. Merco Libra. Look at that, down 43. But that's not even a blip in this chart at all. FNGU. Yeah, that looks like we're getting buying already. SMCI. Watch out for that. We're in. Now this can be done like that. That's the ideal spot if it's gonna go higher. Hold this 534, possibly down to 450. But if we show any more weakness here, coming back to this 300 area right down here on SMCI. Empower, monolith power, right back down. Didn't quite tag the roadmap line. CTAS. Centos. CTAS. Nothing burger, really. That's got a long way to go back to the roadmap line. Another 60 points. KLAC. Opportunity presenting itself here. If we can get back above this 800 area, going higher, 900. Now, not quite to the roadmap line. ASML. Yeah, I expected that to come on down here. Probably still do. Could it find support here? It could, but that doesn't look very promising at this point. We didn't do the bounce part. Didn't bounce at all. So first move down, retrace. Second move down, right down in here is where I would expect ASML to go. Probably not the opportunity in that one. Meta, right back down. Return to the start. That was the warning sign when we didn't close above the 618. Return back down. LRCX. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's having problems. Yeah, it's not a crash, Arthur. Like, this is just a little market route. I wouldn't call it a crash. Not a crash. COVID was a crash. This, not really a crash. This is just return to the roadmap line. This is just a market fleecing. And, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. So everybody's going to call it a crash, but it's not really a crash. We haven't got the crash yet. VGT. Opportunity to bounce. Lily hit the roadmap line in full. Right back above that. 884 can take us up to 1,000, possibly 1,100. Coin, as I mentioned, hitting the target area. Strong. Need that to bounce back above the roadmap line, and we'll be good to go. Long on coin. INTU. Flushed out down below the roadmap line. If it didn't move more than $10, it's not on the list today. As far as decliners. Spot. And this was pre-market. I pulled all these. Spot. Probably going to come back to the roadmap line. BLK. Probably going to come back to the roadmap line. ANET. Hit the roadmap line. Beautiful. Clear that up. That high, that low. If we climb back above this 340 area, 390. DY. Hit the roadmap line. Watch for that to bounce. Same pattern. That high, that low. Get back above here. Going up here. Netflix. Back to the roadmap line. Sometimes I get lucky. All these things reset. So that's what I was kind of waiting for on a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Get back above that. Going up. SMPS. And hit the targets on the downside. Looking for that support. QQQ. Yeah, that was... Didn't hold there. We bounced it down off that resistance. First move down, retrace, and we're right in the zone for reversal. I'll go through NQ and SPX bias at the end here. Adobe, just pulling back a little bit. Just pulling back a little bit. Could go a little deeper before we bounce. Bulls, 3x leverage. And that one got whacked. MSFT, back to the line. I expected it to hold right there. Kind of said if we get below the roadmap line, we'd probably go retest that low from right there. I don't know what I said, that Friday, maybe Thursday. Boom. I expect that to hold. Break back about that 436 so we can go higher. 481. IVV. Right back to the roadmap line. So crazy. So crazy when it gets there in 3 days. SPY, same deal. I just write the drawings, clean it up. Right there. Break back about that. 544. Looking for 574, 581, possibly 600. Look at that. That 6,000 level becomes possible. Race, no reaction. A little drop. There's the support. Drop on down. Costco. Yeah. This is, if you think this is a crash, this is not a crash. Like, we haven't even gotten a crash yet. Like, this is just taking the air back out a little bit. Costco, roadmap line. When everything's below the roadmap line, that's when we're in trouble. That's when we're in trouble. I saw the hearts. Thank you for all the hearts. My niece is watching. Kimberly's watching my niece and nephew today. And NVIDIA. Not too shabby there. Ultra Bull, Apple is not back to the roadmap. Oh, it did. It touched. Look at that. Look at that. That's a buy above 220. Looking for 240, 250, maybe 260. Not too shabby there. USD. That needed a flush down. Yep. There's opportunity brewing here. There could be big money to be made on the next pop. But you got to know when to get out. You got to book your profits. Vug, Vanguard Growth, potential to pop. Vu, potential to pop. You just draw the fibs. Like I'm at this point, it's the same chart over and over. This high, this low, break above, up there. Vogue, whatever. That high, that low, break above, up there. Tesla, that high, that low, break above. Oh, look at that. Oh, Tesla, you shouldn't have. That's funny. It fires off 1 minute. That move, retraced 618. I'm gonna have to clear up a few things like so we can see it. That low, that high. 618 retrace. If we hold right here, that can be super bullish. Which we're rallying very hard right back up to where we were. Watch for that one to rip. MDB. Pushed in the lower low. Can be hunting the bottom. Meta, Nvidia. Everything's kind of popping some bullish potentials here. CRWD. Right down to the extensions. GS. Right back down. PANW. Return to the start. That low, that high. 618 retrace. Can be what that one needs to propel us much higher. MGK. Same deal. That high, that low. Break above here, going up. SMH. Same deal. That high, that low. Break above here, going up. ELF. Oh, nice. Return to the start. Did not make a lower low. Upside target still the same, 240. Wingstop. That high, that low. This move reset most of the stuff in the market. For the next move. It feels ugly, but we just reset everything. Like so much stuff set to go higher. Beautiful. That high, that low. Break above here, going up here. Ulta. Ooh, man, look at that. Hit the target. I'll be dang. Scare myself, I tell you. BRKB. Right back in. They sold a bunch of Apple. They're liquidating a lot of stuff. And I doubt, I mean, let's face it, Warren Buffett's 93 years old. I doubt he makes any big plays for the rest of his life. He's probably just going to sit on his legacy, basically. Like, look what I did, look what I built. Maybe he finds an opportunity, but I think he's probably done making big plays. You could chase what he's doing, but let's say unless we get a huge market route, he's probably not going shopping right now. EPAM, and I guarantee you he saw the carry trade, and that's why he was liquidating stuff. And, well, that didn't break above the roadmap line yet. SPXL. Dang. One big move right there. Break above, going up to 170. ETN. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. That may go lower. Could come down here at 190. Carvana. Barely retraced at all. Didn't even get to the roadmap line. TSM. Right down to the roadmap line. Yeah, you can sit on the money too. Like that's true. Like he doesn't have to do anything. TSM 168, 203. EETH. Well, look at that. Right to it. Little extra. Dang. Cat almost to the target. Probably get a little softer. I would not chase that one yet. Arm. We break back above the roadmap line. Cat can go higher. Arm. Yeah. Oh man, look at that. Getting close. Still expect that one to come on down. That could be a bottom, but I guess the tell will be if we get back above the roadmap line, we may go higher, but that didn't even hit the 50% retrace yet. Still expect it to come back, gap fill. If not, make a lower low. Toyota, look at that, baby. Accelerated right through the target and on down. That one may go lower. That's a warning sign right there. If this doesn't just reverse now, watch out. We're in the danger zone here. Need to reverse on Toyota. Otherwise, 118 becomes the target down here. We can get back above the roadmap line. Turn it higher. That can go on a big extension. How big, you might say? JT, what's the opportunity here? This caught my attention because this is a potential for 469. So downside versus the upside. This is one of those unbelievable kind of opportunity type trades. I'm going to set a couple alerts here. I may pick up some early position and may buy more. This has got my attention. This is the kind of stuff I was looking for right here. This one has giant upside potential compared to limited downside risk. NVDA, tag the roadmap line. That one can go higher. It also can go lower, but that was what I was waiting for on NVIDIA. Watch for the break back above. Could get an extension up to 150. XLK. It's going to take a heck of a bounce right there. 219, 246. ZS. Hey, if you don't have the roadmap line, you don't understand what I'm talking about when I do the fibs and stuff like that. Links in the description. It's like $5. Or you can go back to my YouTube homepage. The thing that I'm like, my favorite indicator, or however it is, I do it. Watch that video. Gives you the roadmap line code. And if you just pay $5, links in the description, you can get it. Easy button. You don't have to put in the code yourself. And I give you a watch list every week. Stuff that might bounce off the roadmap line. It's all bullish trades. And I don't put out trade alerts for that. So if you want trade alerts, you're going to have to get something else. But for $5, put it on a chart. Super handy, super useful. That's why I'm sitting here doing the same. It's the same pattern I do over and over. There's another pattern I'm chasing down, like Toyota right there was what I call a measured bounce. It's where something breaks up higher, it retraces to a 618, and then it sets up this rocket ship type situation. Giant upside potential. There's several of those in the market, and they tend to be stronger players. So maybe like, well, what's another one? TGLS has been another one. This one we got into way back here on the 618 retrace. You can see that one's holding up really well today. And the potential for that one's still way the fudge up here. Still a 3xer from potential from current prices. Another one you might be like, well, what's another one? Look at this one. This one bottomed out back here. It has giant potential up here. Still relatively low price. I'm only up about 50% on the shares only. But I'm looking to 7x, possibly 26x my shares. It might take a while. May take a while. And then here's another one. Beautiful upside potential. This one, measured bounce back here. Potential. I'm just going for 120, but it has potential for like 270, possibly 400. So you got to stick to what you believe, all right? Like I play these patterns and that's what I'm sitting here hunting for in the list. Stuff like that that I can get involved with. And let's see, we were on AVGO, just retrace the roadmap line. Drawings, potential, that high, that low. That was the bounce. Break back above, 194. VRTX, potential to drop down to the roadmap line. CDNS, getting the extensions to the downside. Not much there at this point. That's probably going to go lower. HODL. That low, that high, in the point where we can bounce without going to the Bitcoin chart. LABU may break down further. TECL may break down further, but if we do bounce back through the roadmap line, looking for 125. MNDY Monday.com. Got to break back up above that to get to 263. This one has a bigger pattern in play. Bad spot to reject off of. That's the measured bounce to the downside. This is why I watch for that too. Right there. So like the measured bounce, let's just show you something real quickly. Zoom in here real quick. Let me show you. So the power of that measured bounce. This right here is at 618. We move down, retrace the 618. That's the power of this measured bounce. Look, right there, another 1618. Same thing I just showed you on NEM, SWBI, TGLS. Same exact thing played out on SPY to the downside. It's not magic. It's the same pattern. Same patterns all the time. If that's helpful, beneficial, something you never knew before, give me a like or thumbs up on the video. I mean, it's just right there. Like that's the measured bounce pattern upside down. Just measured bounce down instead of up. I like the ones that go up. It's easy to hold stuff. I don't necessarily care for the ones that go down, but that's what it did right there. Amazon. Oh, baby. Watch out for that one. Potential to come down here. 120s. That can lose another $40 quickly. DPST. That would set Amazon up for a measured bounce. That's why that, when you look at that, that's the measured bounce. That's what I want to happen because that's the upside potential right there. DPST. Whacked back down to the roadmap line. Now we can bounce off the roadmap line. So the other bounce, this is a roadmap line bounce. It works both ways, up and down. The roadmap line right here, my favorite indicator, tends to be support and resistance. Resistance, 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 broke through, support, maybe. If we hold support, turn higher, that indicates we're going higher. And Lulu, almost to the target zone. Oh, that's really cool. Actually, I bet. If I put on the other, yep, we hit the purple fib. 90% of the way to the 1272. We tagged it. We can reverse here on Lulu. We don't have to go lower, but we may go lower. A lot of things tend to outperform to the downside. Beautiful. Connell. Wow. Look at that. Tag. Got the extension of the 1272. Watch for that one to bounce. That same measured bounce pattern. Just when it's bearish, we typically stop at the 1272. When it's bullish, we tend to go for the 1618. That's why I like the upside ones better. They tend to go for the bigger extensions. Dill. Watch for that retrace. We're in a danger zone right there on Dill. Highway to the danger zone. This doesn't have enough candles to draw the rest. CRM. Bounced off the roadmap line. Back to the 618. If we get below it, watch out for the extension down to 205. It's just market roadmap pattern upside down on Salesforce. VTI. Back to the roadmap line. This happens so fast. MAT. Watch for that. Break above the 220. Takes up to 270. AXON. Potential to bounce there. TDMX. TMDX. That's medical specialty stuff. Back to the roadmap line. DIA. Hit the roadmap line. Watch for that one to hold. That high, that low. 418, next upside potential. And we could retrace back down to 355 if we start breaking down further. Could be even worse. Could be even worse. Could be back to 330. SPG, SPGI. Didn't even make it back to the roadmap line. Nada. Snow. Like I said, I only picked up stuff that was down $10 today. Look at that mother. Oh. That's what I've been waiting for. Now we got to wait for a reversal to set up. This is not a catch a falling knife situation, but that's what I was waiting for. I talked about this for, what, a year and a half? There it is. So this one is not a measured bounce. It's not an anything. I was just looking for the bottom of this. This is the IPO move. We just made a bottom, potentially the bottom of this IPO correction. Now we look for the reversal and the setup. We'll likely exceed anything here drastically. Drastically exceed anything we've ever been to on snow. I may just pick up a few shares just to sit on them at this point. And VB. Yeah. Nice retrace to the roadmap line. WDA. WDA right there. 182. Still got more downside on workday. SYK. That high, that low. We didn't even make a lower low yet. 368 on the upside. Google recovering nicely already. That high, that low. Break back above here. There you go. Paycom. Ooh, nasty. Watch out for that to go lower. 100. IYW. Back to the roadmap line. US Technology. Same pattern. That high, that low. Watch for the break above and go higher. NXPI. That high, that low. Break above, go higher. If we glance off of this, we can go lower. That's when the crash occurs. So on all these, if we rally up here, we bounce off of this, that's where we get the crash. All right, this would be the crash move. So watch out, because that next move will be faster, faster. You know, like the way SPX dropped in 3 days. This will all flush like bigger and faster. ACN. Ugh, that looks kind of bearish looking to me. Looks like we may go lower down to the target. ACLS. We're almost done. Almost done. And ACLS looks like we can extend lower. DJX, DXJ, Wisdom Tree, Japan. That's getting whacked. That can come down pretty viciously right there. If we're going to see more route in Japan, if you want to want to get some exposure, $30, $40 downside potential right there. That's going to be Wisdom Tree is going to be like lending in Japan, hedged equity fund, mutual funds and trusts, investment trust. I would watch for that right there. ALGN. I guess Wisdom Tree is a brand that of the hedge fund manager or fund manager. In that case, Align Technologies looks like we might break down and go lower. 152. DHI didn't even retrace hardly at all. QCOM, these all were down $10 pre-market. That potential to bounce. We're in the measured bounce zone. That can be. I wanted to see that hit the 618, but that could be all we do right there. Goose has a theory of coming up short on some of this stuff. So targets. Look at this. Targets. Delete that one. Delete. Potential 500 right there on QCOM. Constellation Energy. Break above here. 250. IWM. Potential for that to bounce here. Yeah, we're probably going to get a bounce. I don't know. The nature of the bounce is going to tell us what happens next. So we've got to break above these to confirm we're going higher. If we bounce off and go lower, watch out. AMD. That got close. Go. There's the target. Down around 100. That got really freaking close. 122. That's a measured bounce too. That's why I want this to happen. That's another measured bounce setup right there. I don't have the, there's the next one. QLD. Yeah. Break back above and going up higher. And that was just it. Over $10 down pre-market. So the big question, how do we know where we're going? Right? What happened? So SPX, we don't have, like, it stopped trading at 4 p.m. on Friday, and we just opened up down here, and there's a lot of missing data in between. Right? We're just sitting on the roadmap line, not doing squat. Yeah. Don't have any information. Can't really figure out where we're going from here. All right. Now, the bigger potential here. Yeah, we did this retrace at this point. So we've got that high, that low. We break back above the 618. Yeah, that's a long way up. It is. 57, 58, 6,000. Those are the numbers. Potential right there, and there. That's the potential upside. Potential downside is wicked, as I said. It's really wicked. This would be the crash. All right. We rally up to that 618, and then we probably get a big chunk of the way here, bounce, and this will be a crash setup. It really will. If we rally back up to that 618 level, 5450, turn down, watch out. We could even only come up to 5400. So that's the danger zone right there. I'm not even joking a little bit. Very, very serious right now. This will set up a crash scenario. That will be a crash because we'll be looking at going from 5,400 to probably 4,600 in just one, and maybe even down to 4,300 in just one go. That'd just be one quick couple day, might even last a week, maybe even a couple days. We get down here, then we'll probably bounce a little bit, and then we'll do this. Find a bottom, then we could rally for a year or two, and then we'll do another down. We won't make a new high if we bounce off of this and do this. We're not going to make a new high for a couple decades. I don't really want to see this, but it's in the charts and it's coming. All right. I don't really want to see this, but it's going to happen sooner or later. Like, I prefer later, but it may be setting up right now. That's going to be the crash. It's in the chart. This is what I saw coming into COVID. There you go. And Kevin, that has nothing to do with nothing. News doesn't matter. News doesn't matter. Anyway, be careful out there today. The things I'm watching for an ES, jumping down. We need to break back about the 15-minute time frame roadmap line. We're testing the 5-minute right here. Move up, may retrace, break through. Then you flip up to the higher. There's the resistance. Then you flip up higher. There's your resistance. Flip up higher. There's your resistance. We break through these. We're going higher. If we don't, watch out below. Watch out below. There's the high. There's the low. 6-minute zone right here around 5,500 on ES. ES is the S&P 500 futures. Right there. This does trade. It started trading at 6 p.m. last night. So we have all that overnight action. And look, we didn't really gap down. We kind of opened a little flat and retraced it up. So not even a big gap. Watch for that to rocket ship out of here, though. It's going to be a massive reversal off this low. Starts on the small time frames. 1 minute's already bullish. Resistance, retrace. It did that right there. That's the measure bounce. Bullish target. Beautiful. Already happened on the 1 minute. Looking for the bigger moves to get going here. All right. I'll be back with you. Same bad time, same bad channel.